Hey, Landlord Nation. Stephen Marshall coming at you again as promised with an update on our state's dog bite law here in Kentucky. If you'll remember, my very first blog post on the website was describing Kentucky's liability for landlords as it pertains to dog bites. There are two statutes that come into play here, and I don't want to bore you too much with the law, but I do want to give a background before I give you kind of the breaking news here. KRS 258.235 is Kentucky's liability statute for dog bites, and it basically says any owner of a dog is liable for any damage caused by his dog. No questions asked. If he owns the dog and the dog causes damage, he's liable. That's called strict liability. Now, the big issue is what constitutes an owner of a dog, and we have a separate definition that the law provides for an owner of a dog. It's found in KRS 258.095, and it defines an owner as every person who has a right of property in the dog, and every person who keeps or harbors the dog, or has it in his care, or, and this is the important point, or permits it to remain on or about premises owned or occupied by him. Now, in June of 2012, the Kentucky Supreme Court, in a case called Benningfield versus Zinsmeister, interpreted that ownership statute to include landlords because it explicitly states that an owner of a dog is someone who permits it to remain on premises owned or occupied, but owned by him. Well, that's exactly what a landlord is, someone who owns premises. And so if a landlord permits a dog to remain on property that he or she owns, then under the dog ownership statute, that landlord is the legal owner of a dog. So if you read the ownership statute and the liability statute together, the Supreme Court logically ruled that landlords are strictly liable for any damage caused by any dog that they permit to be housed on property that they own. And they added the caveat, as long as the damage occurs on the property or within the immediate physical reach of the property. So that was a game changer. Prior to June 2012, the courts had always ruled that landlords were liable for dog bites under the negligence standard, which meant that they had to be, number one, aware of a dog's dangerous propensities, and then fail to take reasonable steps to protect others after they were aware that the dog was dangerous. That's a much more reasonable standard. Landlords could live with that. It was typically known as the one free bite rule. A dog got one free bite, and then after that, the landlord was on notice. The landlord had knowledge that the dog was dangerous and needed to take steps to protect against it. Well, the June 2012 ruling by the Kentucky Supreme Court changed that to strict liability. Landlords, if you permit a dog on your property and it causes damage on or near your property, you are liable, no questions asked. Landlords didn't like that. So in 2014 and 2016, bills were introduced in the state legislature that would amend KRS 258.095 and the definition of the owner of a dog in a way that would exclude landlords. Both bills had tremendous support in the state Senate. They passed through the Senate easily, but they never were called for a vote in the House Judiciary Committee, so they kind of died on the vine. Now, here's the breaking news. Here's the recent update. It's 2017. The new legislative session began in January, and two bills have again been filed which would amend the dog ownership statute to exclude landlords. In the House of Representatives, House Bill 112, HB 112, which was introduced by Stan Lee, a Republican from here in Lexington, and in the state Senate, Senate Bill 99, introduced by Republican Ralph Alvarado and others out of Winchester. These bills have been introduced. They have not moved forward yet because the legislature's on break right now. But these bills, one of these has a tremendous chance of being passed. And the reason that these bills have a chance to pass where the others kind of died in committee was that the way the current law is interpreted, where the landlords are strictly liable, That law has tremendous support from a group called the trial lawyers. They are personal injury lawyers. Think people like Daryl Isaacs, the Hammer. Those are folks who they sue anytime someone is injured to try to collect money for the injured person. Well, they see landlords as what's known to lawyers as a deep pocket, okay, another pocket that they can get into to recover money. So they want landlords to be liable for dog bites. It gives them someone else to sue in case the actual owner doesn't have enough money. Trial lawyers have tremendous influence within the state Democratic Party, especially among the leadership in the House of Representatives. The former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Greg Stumbo, is employed by Morgan & Morgan. You've heard the commercials, For the People. They are a personal injury law firm. They are the ones who kept prior versions of these bills from making it out of the House Judiciary Committee. Well, in November of 2016, everything changed. After the elections, the State House of Representatives flipped from a 53-47 Democratic majority to a 63-37 Republican majority. And so, with the Republican majority, the trial lawyers have much less influence, and one of these bills, either Senate Bill 99 or House Bill 112, has a tremendous chance of being passed into law. Here's the purpose of this video. We need you to contact your legislators. We need you to contact your state senator, tell them to support Senate Bill 99, contact your state representative, and tell them to support House Bill 112. If you don't know who your legislators are, listen carefully. Go to the website lrc.ky.gov. That's Legislative Research Commission.kentucky.government. lrc.ky.gov. That will get you to the legislative homepage. In the middle of the page at the top, you'll see a link that says you'll see a title that says Find Your Legislator. Right below it, there is a link that says Who's My Legislator? Click that link. That link will take you to a page. You type in your address, okay? Then click the link Find My District. That will take you to a map. Click the map to find the name of your representative. Once you know their name, click their bio page. Okay? Their bio page will have their email address and their phone number. Now, I mentioned earlier that the legislature is not in session until early February. That means when they come back, they're going to be ready to start taking action. So what needs to happen between now and then is we need you to contact your legislators and tell them to support Senate Bill 99 for your senator, House Bill 112 for your representative, so that when the session starts again in February, they will be ready to act. We don't want to wait until February to contact them. We want to contact them before so that they'll be ready to act as soon as they get back. If you would like for me to send you a script that you can use to email your legislators, just shoot me an email at kylandlordlaw@gmail.com and I'll send you the script. Folks, it is time that this law get changed. We've worked very hard to get it changed in the past, and with your help, I think 2017 is the year that it's going to happen. So let's get moving on that, and I think good things will come about. Also, just as we wind down, as I told you in my last video, I've been working on some video training courses that are going to be launched in the coming weeks. So be on the lookout for those. And I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great week.